Hey everybody, Pat Benage here, the Evolution Coach, creator of the 6-Week Shift, the Inner Path, and this inspirational blog, SoulTalk. And I've been talking about some big picture stuff the last few weeks, and I'm going to do that again today, but I'm going to bring it to I hope, a more tangible level. Today a little bit, something that came through to me in recent contemplation when I was kind of going through my questions, my questions that I have you guys ask and have my clients ask, and that I ask myself is, who am I and where am I and what do I want? And periodically I go through, and for myself I ask that who am I question on the big level to again bring my attention and my focus into as high an image or an idea of who I am as is possible for me. And so it was interesting. It came through to me in a way that was it wasn't a new thing, but somehow it just hit me at the right moment, as always does, that who am I, who we all are, is simply love. Just love. And as that realization came through, what I noticed is that that's really the answer to all of the questions. In one form or another, who am I? I am love. And not romantic love, not needy love, not tough love, not just pure, unconditional, non-judgmental love. And where am I is all about where am I in relationship to being that, to being love. Where am I on that scale of love? Am I in the needy portion of love? Am I in the tough love? Am I being critical, judgmental? Or am I closer to that unconditional, non-judgmental state of love? And thirdly, what do I want? Well, I want love. It's what we all want. In one form or another, it shows up, and I've said this before in past Soul Talks, that we're always looking for love, and we look for it in all kinds of ways, in gathering things, in relationships, in all sorts of aspects of life, but we're looking for love. We want love. We want to experience love on a physical basis, on an emotional basis, and on a spiritual basis. And on the spiritual basis, it's about being love. I quote Neil Donald Walsh quite a bit. I don't pull his stuff out and read it often anymore, but it was a powerful, impactful portion of my journey early on to have his books. And one of the things that is in there is a question that he asks or teaches to ask when you're not sure what to do, then to ask the question, what would love do now? And it's a great question. It's a great question because that is who you are. So asking that question is like asking, okay, from my highest self, what would I do? What would my choice be given what's showing up from that perspective? So it's a question that again leads us to look at life from that higher perspective, from that highest self. At least it pulls us up a little higher and gets us to look at it a little differently. But one of the things that sometimes is difficult when you ask that question is then your mind is going in and trying to figure out, okay, what would love do? And you're trying to answer that question with your mind, and the mind doesn't even understand true, pure love. And so when I ask the questions, that's why I always start with, who am I? Because I want to get out of my mind and into that soul perspective, into my truth, and begin to look from that place and begin to answer the questions from that place. Not allow my mind to jump in and grab hold of that question and run with it, because that's what happens all too often. And when I asked it recently, and that came through so clearly, that you are love, I am love, we're all love. Like I said, it just seemed so simple. All of it seemed so simple. It's just about love. And being love in the moment. Because in truth, we don't have to look for love outside of ourselves. Just the idea that we're trying to find love out here somewhere is a statement to our own psyche that we don't have it within us. That we're not that we need that from somewhere else in order to feel it. And what I'm offering today is just to tell you that you are love. You are love. Plain and simple. And I know that most of us don't really believe that. We don't really believe it. We might intellectually say, okay, I know that. I know I'm loved. But in your heart of hearts, do you believe it? When you look within, when you truly open up and honestly look at yourself, do you believe it? Do you know it to be true? You are love. Nothing more, nothing less. And love is all there is. It's such a powerful, not even, I wanted to say energy, but it's more than that. It's a powerful state of being to allow yourself to feel the love that's within you, the love that you are. If you can get into that state for just a moment, and feel it, really feel it, really feel all of that love energy, the love that's inside you, that is you, and feel it just infusing every cell of your being until it almost feels like you're just going to burst. And then all of a sudden you're just lighter. You're just lighter. You're just floating. This is who you are. This is who we all are. When you understand that, when you truly know that, when you believe that about yourself, you can begin to believe that about everything. Everything. That everything that exists exists out of love. It is love. There's nothing bad or good or better or worse, or it's all love. When we resist that, when we deny that, we suffer. When we embrace that, when we believe it, it's like floating on air. Doesn't mean you're completely ungrounded and not here now. But you can be here now in this moment and be love and be floating. But you have to believe it. In order to believe it, you have to experience it. In order to experience it, you have to look within. You have to ask those questions. You have to allow that truth to come through. Allow it to come through. So that's my message today, this week. You are love. Be that. Embrace that. Live that. That's truly living from the inside out. Thanks so much for being here. I love you all. We'll see you next week.